means, which is, what is it? It's talking about the thing that is very quality. So it talk about the test paper. It talk about the test quality. So which can help the student to understand the lesson. It can help the student to make sure that student will learn so far from what they have learned in the classroom, from the teacher, from lecturer. And especially it's not from the thing that I have recommend, but it's just only from the book, from any kinds of social reliability, which it can help them to learn. So reliability means something that is real. It's real practice in classroom. For example, like the student from Balti International University, some of the students from bachelor degree, from master class, or from PhD class, also provided scholarship, and they can learn it so far. This is we call reliability, because the student can be able to join together to share some idea, and especially they can promote any kind of learning assessment from their learning process from step to step, or we call from hand to hand. Blueprints thing, OSCE, the learning objective, is talking about income, is an essential step in the planning of any examination. So this is from the author, Carter et al., 2009, Sally et al. In 2010, and Ryman, and especially the grant in 2019. This is also the concept, which is we can observe that the learning process start from blueprinting is the most important. All right, I have already talked about test paper. So basically, in test paper, we can divide it many kind of test paper. But we really know exactly the test paper will be accepted to a variety. For example, test paper is talk about 4 master skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So here, the test paper in my classroom today, or my presentation today, is talk about vocabulary and especially the speaking. So let me come up with this. So to monitor, or we call to integrate the teaching performance, teacher acquire or required to check and find out improvement, feedback, and solve example paper in an excellent way. So when we start from the word improvement feedback, we have to know exactly. After finished teaching, after teaching or we call class demonstration in classroom, the teacher might be able to give them a test, the student test. They might assign only a mini quiz, pop quiz for them to ensure that their learning activity or the lesson is going to be promoted in one part of the learning process. So here, so the example paper is also one of the, we call paper based. The paper based also recognized for the whole part of the universe. But right now in our world, technology is very modern. We can modernize the lesson. We can modernize the lesson step by step. We can use it based on technology as well. So another one we call, in order to improve the check the student understanding, and another portable concept as a word matching. So in this mean a kind of procedure that I just provoked or proposal in my time. The first one we talk about word matching. In order to teach vocabulary effectively, just let the students start from word matching, synonym, antonym, odd one out, and especially another entirely test development. So the teacher might start from another way. Give them example, sentence structure, sentence building, something like that. So basically, according to Seal Women's and Hatrans in 2015, page 3, he recommends that when a child continues to learn a new vocabulary, just help them to recognize the word as they code them and give them as understanding of the word meaning. So the word they code them here means they try to use it for the daily activity. For example, like some students that the parents just provide them what we call a high education. Some students can be able to learn from the international school. They ask the foreign teacher to start their own class. And the foreign teachers always speak English all the time in classroom. So that's why the student can decode it. The student can remember it and they can use it when they come back home. For example, in some school or international school, they recognize this because actually they try to speak English all the time with the student. The student always speak English to them all the time. Just for example, like good morning, sir. How are you today? What are you doing today? Or what is it? This is all we call decode the language, decode the vocabulary used. All right. Here, the other part of the code test item analysis. So in order to make sure our test item analysis will be flow or will be work in very one way or we call flow part. It should be start from the item analysis. The first one analysis we call process of examining classroom observation. To individual tasks,